think I got mine. All right, here we go.
You're in the cinema, about to watch yet another sequel to a forgotten franchise nobody asked for. You're getting popcorn
Oh,
and a drink to drown out your Jared Leto-induced sorrow with a sugar rush.
bro.
You pay and they hand you a cup.
Yep.
Then you see it, glowing red and chrome. The
Okay, what movie theater has this? The self-serve soda machine.
Coca-Cola Freestyle Fountain. Here, you can choose between over 100 different flavors. Cherry Vanilla Coke, Peach Sprite. Maybe you'll go crazy and mix Fanta with Powerade. Or maybe you just pick a classic. But this machine is way more than just a soda fountain. It's not just serving you a drink. It tracks everything you do. And while you're picking your favorite flavor, it's quietly collecting data. Data that turns
What?
customers into test subjects. Data that Coke will profit from tremendously. The Coca-Cola company is said to have invested more than $1 billion in this machine, but they're very likely turning its capabilities into much, much bigger savings and profits. Today, we're diving into how a drink dispenser became a global lab and what role you play in all of this.
I've only seen these in Burger Kings.
The Coca-Cola company is one of the biggest beverage producers on the planet.
Come is
The
out.
conglomerate controls almost half of the global soda market, making billions in revenue every year. And one important way they sold their many drinks has long been soda fountains.
Yeah.
In the olden days, ordering a soft drink would work like this. You'd walk up to the counter, place your order, and someone would pour your drink into a cup. Then self-service fountains arrived. Now you could fill your own cup at your own discretion. When you were a kid, this fountain was everything. You could mix yourself something truly undrinkable. However, in 2006, Coca-Cola and other beverage makers noticed something worrying. For the first time since 1985, the sales volume of carbonated beverages had declined. People started to focus more on their health and well-being. They were
Yeah.
increasingly looking for sugar-free drinks and low-calorie options. But Coke's fountains just weren't ready for that. At that time, only
What?
about 1% of
Just
all
add
soda
it.
fountains in the US even offered Diet Coke. Meanwhile, the choice of sodas at convenience stores had increased dramatically. Rows and rows packed with hundreds of bottles and cans. But Coke fountains were stuck with the same limited run-up of kind of boring standard flavors. So they had to come up with an idea. An
Okay,
idea
why is
that
there
would
two
change everything.
Coca-Cola? The fuck?
The freestyle fountain's design is interesting. The red, the chrome, the sculpted lines. It kind of looks like it wants to become a Ferrari when it grows up. And that's not a coincidence. It was developed with Pininfarina, the legendary Italian design house that shaped the curves of Ferrari itself. You slide your cup under the
Wait,
dispenser.
really?
Now comes the fun part. You see dozens of bubbles on the screen in front of you. Each bubble is labeled with a different drink. Mezzomix, Coca-Cola, Powerade, Lift, Fuse Tea, and Kinley. In total, you could choose over 100 drinks. Back when you were a kid, this would have been impossible. Restaurants used massive 19-liter syrup canisters for every single drink option. Nowadays, all these flavors fit into just about 30 tiny cartridges. The cartridge design is inspired by medical tech, where precise dosing is critical. Just as insulin pumps deliver exact amounts of medication almost drop by drop, the freestyle system carefully meters syrup and carbonated water for each pour. In theory, every pour is perfectly measured, drop by drop, turning your drink into a precise masterpiece. But Coke from a
The
freestyle
fuck?
fountain actually tends to taste a little different from the one you buy in the supermarket. In contrast
Yeah.
to the old canister systems that pre-mix syrup and sweetener, freestyle keeps flavors, sweeteners, and carbonated water separate. Now, when you press the button, the flavor, sugar, and carbonated water are combined on demand. This can make your Coke taste slightly different from other preparations. Staring at the bubbly screen, curiosity kicks in. You came in for your usual, but you gotta admit, some options here are tempting. You tap the
True.
Powerade bubble, and suddenly a whole lineup appears. Powerade Raspberry, Powerade Lemon, Powerade Strawberry. So many choices. Which one to pick? You even mix a drink that doesn't exist before. You could create your own secret
Orange,
flavor.
grape, pineapple. Oh my
And won't that
gosh.
make you special? The freestyle fountain is fun. It lets you explore. It bewilders. It sparks curiosity. It might even provoke play. And that's exactly the point. Coca-Cola doesn't just want to sell you a beverage. It wants you to feel something. This technique is called experience marketing. Right here in front of this machine, you're not just choosing a flavor. You're interacting with the brand. You are literally experiencing it. Every tap, every bubble. Every choice pulls you deeper into the Coca-Cola universe. And that matters because moments
All right,
like this
bro,
make
calm
you
down.
remember Coke, not just as a drink,
The
but as a
Coca-Cola
feeling.
universe.
And ideally, it wants you to go home and tell your friends about that insane machine that lets you mix your own Coke and offers that amazing weird new flavor they so gotta try. And Freestyle isn't the only example for Coke's experience marketing. Think about Share a Coke. Different campaign, same idea. And it's all part of Coca-Cola's bigger play, shifting from being
What?
a product brand to an experience brand.
Emily.
Anyways, you ultimately go for a Sprite. You didn't even know Sprite Cherry existed.
Yeah,
Time to give
wait,
it a
what?
shot.
Is that
You
real?
press the pour button, then you take a sip. Not half bad. You're not the only one who was curious about Sprite Cherry. All over the world, people have made the exact same choice. Obviously, Coca-Cola didn't offer you this new flavor just for fun. The Freestyle ecosystem is basically a giant testing lab. Every pour, every mix, every flavor you try feeds into a massive experiment, a sampling program on a global scale. And with this particular new flavor, the experiment actually worked. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. When Coca-Cola launched the Freestyle in 2009, they packed it with cutting-edge technology. Reliable wireless networks like the ones we have today weren't exactly standard, so Coca-Cola built their own. The network they created links every Freestyle machine directly to Coca-Cola's back-end systems, which are managed through SAP software. Think of it as the company's brain. It keeps track of everything happening across all departments in real time. Every single day, over 50,000 Freestyle machines send data back to this brain. They report everything that's going on inside them, which flavors are being poured, what time of day they are consumed, or how much syrup is left. You might not experiment with your drink choices, but many other people do. That is how Coca-Cola discovered that people really like Coke Orange Vanilla, Sprite Cherry, Sprite Strawberry,
Orange
and Coke Cherry
vanilla.
Some of these flavors started as user creations, combinations people kept mixing again and again at the Freestyle machine. Others, like Coke Orange Vanilla, were developed by Coca-Cola. The more people got these, the stronger the signal became, and what started as a tiny bubble on screen ultimately moved into full production. Sure, you could argue the company might have released these flavors eventually either way, but with Freestyle, those decisions happened faster than before, and might be grounded in better data.
Wow.
But there's more. Before Freestyle, staff had to manually check those giant syrup canisters. They probably used inventory sheets, maybe did a bit of guesswork, and called or emailed Coca-Cola to reorder. Freestyle completely transformed fountain logistics. Every night, the system collects data from this exact machine and figures out how many units of each cartridge needs to be delivered to the cinema. And it's not just based on what you and your friends poured yesterday. Algorithms predict demand and even factor in planned promotions for specific beverages.
What the fuck?
The system calculates which cartridges need refilling and automatically creates the restocking orders. Those orders are sent straight to the distribution center, and from there, the cartridges are shipped directly to the fountain locations. Every Freestyle machine on the planet is quietly syncing. Think about how smart this is. With Freestyle, Coca-Cola can optimize their entire fountain supply chain, streamline inventory management, make restocks more efficient, and even improve their production schedule. It's probably safe to assume that this alone saves the company millions and millions of dollars along the way. If even Coca-Cola is tracking your data in real life, you won't be surprised to learn that your data is exposed everywhere, and there's nowhere to hide. Every click, search, and form you fill reveals
Oh
tiny
my
pieces of who
god.
you
Did
are.
I just see a
That you have
6-7
to look
meme
up how
right
to spell
there?
bourgeois 6 or 7 times for your online comment war.
Oh my god.
But
We're
you don't
not.
understand a 6-7 meme,
Alright,
or
bro.
that you enjoy mixing Sprite and Fanta.
Is
This
this
is
an
just
ad?
normal. With data breaches rising every year, your personal
Ad.
information is
Yep.
at risk. Would won't come exposing
Don't care,
this
don't
machine
care, don't
and this
care.
QR code. Go protect yourself.
Incogni.
Let's get back to Coke's genius machine, because
Yeah.
there's more. The data streams don't only report back. Marketers at HQ can push new campaigns.
This is low-key
straight
genius,
to the
though.
Freestyle. It took a while to get to this level.
Oh.
Whenever Coke wanted to push a new campaign or change content, it required a full software update, during which the machine couldn't
The
pour a single
fuck?
drink. Not exactly ideal, considering many fountains are located in high-traffic
So
fast food
do it
chains.
overnight.
So in the mid-2010s, Coca-Cola integrated AirWatch, a modern device management platform. Now, instead of sending out a massive software update whenever marketers want to roll out a campaign, they could push tiny data packages. While receiving the configurations, the machines most likely stay fully operational. They simply download and display the new content, like this Halloween special. What happens next is called nudging. A new flavor might be the first bubble you see, or a short teaser video might just catch your eye. You're still free to pick whatever you want, but those gentle nudges make you more likely to experiment. Thousands of individual recorded choices to try some bizarre Halloween flavor.
Oh, they have these in
directly
Zaxby's,
into
I
Coca-Cola's
think, too.
product development.
Zaxby's and Burger King has this shit.
Bro, what the fuck? I just thought of that. I haven't been to Zaxby's in a while.
But wait a minute. This little black dot up there, is that
Yeah, what the
a
fuck?
camera? Is this thing recording you? Well, Coca-Cola did plan to install a camera in one of their freestyle models. They even included it in their spec sheet and described it with the words, future capability for motion sensing and facial recognition. This way, the company could have tracked every smile when you mix flavors, every frown when it doesn't taste right after a little test sip, literally observing which combos make you happy or
The fuck?
Every reaction is data. But could they really pull this off? At least in theory. In Europe, for example, strict data protection laws such as general data protection regulations would likely not allow this to happen. In the US, however, businesses and event venues are increasingly experimenting with facial analysis and recognition technology in public spaces, so hypothetically, it might be feasible there. According to Fortune, in early 2024, AI company Quantify referenced a facial recognition project tied to freestyle. In a now-removed entry on their website, it reportedly said, each vending machine comes with a camera installed, in which an image is captured for every customer interacting with the machine. Coca-Cola's marketing team aspired to use these images to generate insights on consumer preferences and usage patterns. Reportedly, Quantify built a machine learning model to detect customer demographics. Basically, the Coca-Cola company could know you're a guy in your 20s, standing here grabbing
What?
a Sprite cherry.
What the fuck does my
Unfortunately,
age matter, though?
the post seemingly vanished. A spokesperson for Coca-Cola said cameras in freestyle fountains were just tested in a laboratory setting from 2018 to 2019.
So why do they have cameras in the first place, then?
The creepy camera hole aside, the technology is pretty impressive. A single globally deployed machine expanding flavor variety, strategically pushing experience marketing, enabling hyper-detailed flavor testing, micro-campaigning, and optimization of the supply chain. You probably stood in front of one of those before and never even had a clue. But there is this one central question we just couldn't shake. Just how much are they saving and making with this? In order to find out, we went down a rabbit hole, annual reports, analytics, figures, and company filings, only to realize there is no concrete data. Sure, we found a few clues
What the
here
fuck
and
were
there,
y'all digging?
but we could barely make anything useful out of it, especially because gains from freestyle are tangled up with other projects. When we reached out to Coca-Cola for comment, they didn't respond, so we had to call in backup. Enter Yannick, the team's spreadsheet wizard. He dove into everything we could find out about freestyle and started making sense of it. His analysis is split into 3 parts. First, payback. Let's start with Coca-Cola's assumed revenue from freestyle machines. To get a rough baseline, we looked at something similar, loyalty programs like Payback. Payback usually returns an estimated 0.5 to 3% of your spending. Sounds like a bad deal for them, but here's the thing, it works. Because when people get a little something in return, they tend to spend even more. And while they do, Payback collects tons of data, or what they buy, when they buy, and where they buy. You can't fully compare Payback to Coke Freestyle, but both follow the same idea. Encourage people to buy, and learn as much as possible while they do. The data collected through loyalty programs like Payback enables targeted marketing and personalized offers, helping deliver messages that are relevant to individual consumers. Studies like this one show that loyalty programs can improve gross margins by 2 to 4%, not simply because people buy more, but because companies can make smarter, data-driven marketing and product decisions. Using that logic, we can conservatively assume a 2% margin on revenue for freestyle. This is a very rough estimate, but enough to get a sense of scale. According to one source, Coke Freestyle machines dispense around 4 billion drinks per year. Assuming an average of $2 per drink and a 2% margin, that adds up to roughly $160 million in yearly gains, well over $1 billion since Freestyle's inception. Second, the value of data. Back in 2015, Coca-Cola teamed up with Hivery, a company focusing on AI-driven optimization. Their mission was to optimize vending machine sales. One of Hivery's clients was Reyes Coca-Cola Bottling Co., a U.S. bottler with roughly 19,000 vending machines in hospitals across California and Nevada.
Damn.
Hivery's software combines sales data with machine learning and some algorithms to predict demand for every beverage in every machine. Reportedly, Reyes saw a 6% sales increase and a 15% reduction in restocking trips. These numbers suggest that data-driven supply chain management can generate significant sales boosts and cost savings. It is reasonable to assume that freestyle fountains could yield similar results. Third, new flavors. Some of the new flavors Coca-Cola launched based on their freestyle testing turned out about as popular as the deeply disappointing and unwanted sequel you're going to endure in a few minutes. Take Coke Cherry Vanilla for example.
Motherfucker hates the new Tron movie or something.
Even though it was one of the most beloved freestyle combos, Coca-Cola decided to not produce any more in 2024 due to declining demand. Freestyle may help spot promising new flavors, but it doesn't seem to be foolproof.
Oh, JJ's.
The market, 2 did not survive.
Damn.
This doesn't necessarily mean they were bad investments, just that they weren't long-term hits. Coca-Cola may have overestimated how representative freestyle users are for the broader market. Again, our request for comment.
Okay, but that ass though, there's no way that there's actually people who sit on this machine and like experiment this shit. Honestly, bruh, I just want a fucking Coke or a fucking Sprite or a fucking Fanta, whatever. And what I'll do is I'll click on one of them, and hey, if they have like other flavors, I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll try this. If not, I'm not over here. Oh, let me try the Coke orange cream with the Fanta fucking black lemon. Like, I'm not doing that shit. Who the fuck is actually genuinely doing this shit?
Concrete sales data for specific products. We found a number for one of their newer non-freestyle Sprite products that shows the potential of this market. Sprite Chill generated $15 million in sales in its first 21 weeks in the North American market. Again, it's hard to estimate the total profit the company may have made through new flavors that started on freestyle, and how important the found data was for their success. We're looking at all 3 aspects of Yannick's analysis. One thing is relatively safe to assume. The $1 billion Coca-Cola reportedly invested into these machines has long been made back.
That's actually kind of crazy though. They literally make their, you know what's crazy? So pretty much they're making money. Well, wow. Oh my God. That is the whole point of business. Shit. They're making money off of us because we weirdos sit on this machine, experiment, and then somehow they gather the data of, okay, for whatever reason, this experiment right here, this combo has been used a lot. So then they make it an official product and then sell it, and then boom, there's the money. That's actually a crazy, wow. Yeah, I mean, because imagine, people are going to be on the internet, yo, try out this new combo of sodas. And then, it's going to be on TikTok, Reels, whatever. And then people go out and try it. And then Coca-Cola gets that info from the machines. And then they're like, okay, people like this shit. Let's make it into a real product and just sell what we can. Boom, there you go. That's actually crazy, bro. Holy fuck.